welcome to another video by myself, Daniel. I'm also known as the Bald Scrambler, and today, as you can see, is a very frosty, very snowy December morning here in Snowdonia. So I thought this would be a great opportunity to test the Vango 200 storm shelter, which is a product I've had in my winter bag for 2 years now, but I've never actually used it. I've opened it up in my front room to see what it's all about, but I've never actually used it outside in weather like this. So we've got a bit of a breeze today. I think it's going to pick up to around 20 miles an hour. We have about minus, I think, 5 or 6 at the moment. So it'll be interesting to see how easy this shelter is to put together, how easy it is to dismantle it. I've also got a thermometer with me so we can see if there's a temperature change in the shelter, if it traps my body heat in there, and also whether it protects me from the wind chill, which I can really feel now. There's a bit of a breeze picking up and I can certainly feel that on my face. So this is my honest review of the Vango 200 storm shelter. So the Vango 200 storm shelter comes in its own bag. It's all moulded into one. Open up the drawstring, hold it outwards. There you go. So you have a window, have vent holes so you don't suffocate, with drawstrings on them. You have waterproof seams. We have a drawstring at the bottom, so when you're inside it, you pull it tight, and that'll obviously keep you nice and warm. In theory, it should keep you nice and warm inside. Now, there are no poles or anything with this tent. It is essentially a plastic bag that is designed to keep the heat in, keep the wind and the cold out. So let's see how practical this is to use. Right, well, I'm in. The first thing I've noticed when I'm in here, wow, I'm hot. I'm not kidding. Within about a minute of getting in here, I can really feel humidity has just gone up. Obviously, I'm breathing in here. Got a little vent hole in the side. Can you see that? So obviously, you're not going to suffocate. Ooh, there you go. I feel a little bit of a trickle of air coming in, but boy, I don't know what the temperature is. I'll bring the thermometer in a moment, but wow, I can really feel so much warmer in here. I was quite cold outside. I've been standing out there for about 10 minutes preparing for this. I was getting quite chilly. Wow, what a difference. So here we are. You've got the vent hole there for breathing. If I look on this side, you've got a little window. You can't really see a lot out of there, but it does let light in. And if I pan the camera down, this is the drawstring here, which you tighten up, and you can just pull this in and close that off. It doesn't have to be completely sealed. Even like that, it's just fine. So I'm actually quite warm in here, I must say. Wow, I'm really surprised how warm I am. It wasn't too difficult to get in. A little bit of a breeze today. It was flapping around in the wind, as you saw. I've got to say, this is a 2-man shelter. There's no way you're going to get 2 people of my size in here. I'm 6'2". I'm a big guy. Big puffer jacket on. You're not going to fit 2 of me in here unless you're pretty much on top of each other. So I think 2 small people at a push, or if you're a single person, you might just want to get this 2-man. This is the Vango 200. I think it's a 2-man storm shelter. You definitely wouldn't get 2 people in here. You might get a small dog and somebody in here, but wow, I've really noticed that it just feels so much warmer in here. And do you know what? It's not actually too uncomfortable. So what I'm sitting on is slightly reinforced. The plastic is a little bit thicker. Where you sit on, there's like it's a black in colour. Obviously it's all orange in colour, but the black is where you sit down on. I'll have a look. You can see this here. That's reinforced and it's waterproof as well. So not only am I warm and dry, but my bum is warm and dry too, which is obviously all important. So I'm here at the foot of Trevan. I think it's minus something outside, and I just want to strip my clothes off because I'm getting really hot in here. So I'm going to give this a thumbs up so far. I'm actually quite impressed with this. It wasn't too difficult to get out of the bag. It was quite compressed in there. It opened out all into one. So you've got the little window, got the vent hole, got the drawstring to close it up. You know, I could imagine if I was out on the mountains and maybe I sprained my ankle or hurt myself and I just needed to get in a shelter for a while to recover, this would really take the edge off, I could imagine. I mean, I've got no gloves on now, it's minus whatever outside, and I'm warm. I'm ready to peel off my layers, so I could really imagine that this could save a few digits, potentially, with frostbite. And again, obviously, had a more serious injury, and you did need to wait for mountain rescue, you could probably spend a good few hours in here, and you wouldn't feel any discomfort at all from the cold. So, actually quite impressed with this. Yeah, it really is trapping the heat in. Obviously, I have seen some people use these when they stop to have a cup of tea. They get up on the summit. I saw one guy up on the summit of, I think it was Gliddervauer 2 years ago. He got in one of these. I asked him if he was okay. He said, yeah, I'm just getting out of the wind. He just poured himself a cuppa and made himself a soup out of his flask. So why not, you know, if it gets you out of the wind. I'm certainly feeling warm and comfortable in here. Would I want to stay in here overnight? No, it's not really that sort of shelter. It's just an emergency shelter, just to keep you dry, get you out of the wind, and to obviously lower the temperature, because it does trap the body heat from yourself in here. So I'm going to do the all-important temperature test. I'll have a look and see what the temperature is outside. I'll come and sit in here, maybe have a read of my book, play on my phone for 15 minutes, and we'll see what the thermometer reads once it's had a chance to warm up, and we'll see what sort of temperature change you can expect if you're inside one of these on the side of a mountain like I am today. Okay, so I don't know how well you can read that. It's about 1 degree. So it's about -1. So I'm going to get back in the shelter, take the thermometer with me. This is one of those thermometers that takes ages to go up. It goes up at like 0.1 increments all the time. So I'll go and sit in there for 10-15 minutes, and we'll see what sort of temperature increase we get inside the storm shelter, because that's really what I want to know. Is it going to protect me? Is it going to protect me from frostbite? Is it going to protect me from losing my fingers or my toes if I'm in a desperate situation? So it'll be interesting to see what sort of temperature change we get inside the storm shelter. So back in I go. Okay, so I've been wrapped up in my storm shelter. It's so warm in here, I'm gonna have to take my hat off because I am literally sweating in here. I don't know how well you can see this. we've got condensation on the window. Interesting. The vent hole's doing its thing. Just letting in a little trickle of air. Nice view out there. Ooh. And as for the temperature, well, we're already, after 10 minutes, we're plus 10 degrees. So have a look at this. We're now sitting at 10.6 degrees, so that's 1 degree outside. So what a difference 10 minutes makes. That's 10.5, so it's just sort of floating around 10.5 at the moment. That's a 10 degree increase in the temperature in less than 10 minutes. I actually felt like it was at plus 10 degrees in a few minutes, but my thermometer was a little bit slow to catch up. So wow, what a lifesaver that could be. I can imagine if you're on the mountains and it's sort of -5, you can get it up to +5. Oh, that's the difference between having digits and losing digits. So yeah, I'm really impressed with this actually. For the price, I paid £25 for this 2 years ago. It weighs 440 grams, it hardly weighs anything, don't really notice it in the bag. It takes up a little bit of space at the bottom of the bag, but not really enough to be a problem at all. So overall, I'm really pleased with it. The humidity level in here is 83%, so obviously quite high. It's obviously my moisture from breathing and sweating in here. Do have the vent hole obviously, but it's not getting rid of all of it. There is quite a bit of condensation on the inside, but that's pretty much what you'd expect in a storm shelter like this. So overall, I'm really pleased with it. So I'm going to keep the Vango 200 storm shelter in my bag during the winter, because I do a lot of solo hiking, a lot of solo scrambling, and it does worry me sometimes, where I think if I did have a little fall, a little accident, you know, I'm on my own. How long is it going to take for someone to come and help me if I break a leg, for example? Knowing that I could get in this thing, and it's 10 degrees in here now, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, I've got 4 layers on, so I'm literally sweating in here now, you know. So I think this is potentially a real lifesaver. So I'm going to keep this in my bag. I'm going to give this a thumbs up. So that's it. Thanks for watching my short review of the Vango 200 storm shelter. Bit of a breeze here, you can feel that now blowing on here, but to be honest, I can't feel a draft coming in. It really is doing its job, so I would recommend this. If you're interested in buying this product, do head down to the video description. You'll find a link to Amazon where you can go and buy this product. I think especially if you're doing a lot of solo stuff in the mountains and you're a little bit worried, maybe if you have a slip or a fall, how long is it going to take for somebody to come and rescue you or to come and assist you? Being able to put yourself in one of these, it's now 11 degrees in here, so we are plus 10 degrees in here. That's a big difference. And I've got to say, even though this isn't the most comfortable little tent I've ever been in, for an emergency shelter, it's not bad at all. It looks like it's well made, decent seams on here, got your little window, got your vent hole, got your drawstring, pretty much everything you need to stay dry and stay warm and keep your digits where they should be. So look, my name's Daniel. I'm also known as the Bald Scrambler. Thank you for watching my video today, and I hope to see you on the mountains someday. All the best. Here you go. About a minute and a half